Attorney Rodiano to make the opening statement.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mayong buntag, Unay Bisaya diha. And to all my fellow taong bayan currently watching, good day po sa ating lahat. So the first part for today will be yung message po na i-convey namin is about hindi po dapat may selective justice sa House of Representatives. And this is in relation po nung last hearing nila April 29, 2026, considering na alam naman po natin, di ba, hindi binuksan yung BIR box. However, we have to remember, hindi lang po kasi BIR box yung may confidentiality issue. Kundi pati yung AMLAC and bank transaction records po ni Rayman Scarpio and his spouse, the Vice President po of the Republic of the Philippines, si VP Sara Duterte. And kaya ako po nasabi na bawal yung selective justice because that violates our right to due process and equal protection. So if it violates due process, that constitutes as grave abuse of discretion. Therefore, that is an unconstitutional act po. Okay? And since kaya po namin nasabi na there is a violation of due process and the Equal Protection Clause, kasi number one, confidentiality laws should be treated equally. Diba? So since AMLAC and the bank secrecy touches on confidentiality issues, it should have been given the same treatment as the BIR box ng April 29 hearing. Okay, and then another thing we have to note here is that when we talk about the issue po kasi of yung right to accountability versus the rights of private citizens, we have to remember na yung rights of private citizens po is also a constitutionally protected right po yan under the Bill of Rights. Yung right to privacy natin, meaning bawal po against unreasonable searches and seizures yung ating right to privacy. Okay? And if it involves fundamentally protected constitutional rights, ang nag-a-apply po dyan is the strict scrutiny test. It means na yung government po, yung may burden na dapat i-explain nila sa taong bayan na hindi illegal at hindi unconstitutional yung ginagawa nila. Diba? At yung nangyari po, like what I've already explained, there was selective justice. Therefore, that is grave abuse of discretion. Consequently, that is unconstitutional po. So that is my message for today.
Thank you. Attorney Danao.
Magandang umaga po, good morning. I just want to address, because ito po yung parang mainit na issue, dun sa 6 billion. So, you can quote me on this, Attorney Carpio said that the 6 billion is fake and a lie. Wala siyang ganong pera. Okay? You can quote Attorney Carpio on that. It is fake and a blatant lie. Kumbaga sa Tagalog, marites po yun. Marites lang, chismis. Okay? Dahil ang ginawa po ng AMLA, kung babalikan niyo po, sinasabi na transaction value. Di ba? So, yung total amount ng mga transaction, inad-add nila. Dagdag, withdrawal, deposit, running balance. Para po ma-explain ko po mabuti, meron pong sample dito. Okay. Diba? Sa bank account nyo po, di ba, sa libreta, passbook, meron pong entrada dyan, di ba? Una, yung credit or deposit. Di ba? As pangalawang entrada, merong debit o withdrawal. Okay? As pangatlong entrada, merong balance, running balance. Okay? Kunyari, sa example natin na to, okay? Nag-initial deposit ka ng 100 pesos. Okay? So, sa kaliwa, andun yung credit. 100 pesos. Kulay green. Siyempre, ang balance mo, yung first slide. Yan. Okay? So, yung green, nag-deposit ka sa left side. So, ang balance mo sa kulay blue, 100 pesos. Kasi nag-deposit ka, di ba? Okay. So, next transaction, winidraw mo yung 100. Okay? So, papasok yan dun sa debit, kulay pula. Siyempre, winidraw mo yung 100 mo, ang balance mo 0. Diba? Tapos, the next day, nag-deposit ka ng 50 pesos. Diba? So, nasa left side yon yung kulay green. Siyempre, ang balance mo, 50 pesos. Kulay blue. Okay? Tapos, nag-deposit ka ulit ng 50 pesos the next day. Okay? So, ang balance mo na ngayon, 100. Nasa kanan, di ba? So, ngayon, yung balance mo ng 100 na yon, winidraw mo ulit, 100. Yun, nasa red. Siyempre, zero balance ka na. Okay? So, ang ginawa nila, number of transactions. So, ilang transaction yan? Una, nag-deposit 100. Isa. Pangalawa, nag-withdraw ka 100. Dalawa. Pangatlo, nag-deposit ka 50 pesos. Pang-apat, nag-deposit ka 50 pesos. Pang-lima, nag-withdraw ka 100. So, total transactions, 5. Okay? Ang total transaction value nun, i-add mo yung 100 na dineposito mo, add mo yung 100 na withdraw mo, i-add mo yung 50 na dineposito mo, i-add mo yung 50 na deposito mo, i-add mo yung 100 na withdraw mo. Pag tinotal mo yan, 100 plus 100 plus 50 plus 50 plus 100, 400. So yun ang sinasabi ng transaction value. Pero sa totohanan, ang balanse mo, zero. Di ba? Ay hindi nila sinasabi yun. Hindi nila in-explain na nang mabuti sa mga tao na yung number of transactions mo at yung total transaction value ay magkaiba sa actual balance nyo. Di ba? Tingnan nyo po yung libreta nyo. Magkaiba po yung transactions sa balanse. Okay? So ibahin natin. Gawin natin kunyari para mas makita natin example. Okay? Kunyari mag-umpisa tayo sa 1 million. So ganun din yun. Di ba? 1 million deposit. 1 million withdraw. 500,000 deposit. 1 million deposit. Withdraw mo ulit. Okay? So sa ganitong example din, di ba? 5 transactions. Pero ang total transaction value yung 5 million. Pero zero balance. Di ba? Eh kung ito, tinimes mo ng 12 months per year. Diba? So lalaking transaction value mo. 5 million times 12, 60M. Diba? So 60M daw ang kabuuang transaction value mo sa isang taon, pero ang balance mo, zero. Diba? Kasi isang taon lang yan, 60M. Eh, di ba ginawa nila ilang years? 20 years. So 60M times 20 years. Tada! 1.2 billion. Diba? So 1.2 billion daw for 20 years. Sample lang to ang transaction amount. Pero ang positive balance mo is? Zero. Diba? Hindi nila in-explain yun eh. Kumbaga, parang ginawa nila, inaniwala mga tao na meron daw 6 billion, pero hindi na piniliwanag paano nila nakuha ito. Diba? Half-truth eh. Talaga propaganda. Parang, kunyari, ganito yan. Meron kang kaibigan ng high school na galit ka, di ba? Nakita mo yung asawa niya sa hotel. Di ba? May kasama sa lobby ng mga kaklase, ng mga kaibigan sa opisina, lalaki, babae. Tapos, nakita mo lumabas kasama yung kaklase na lalaki. Eh, galit ka dun sa asawa niyang, kaburo mo nung high school. Inaalat mo sa G-chat, sa group chat niyo. Uy, nakita ko yung asawa mo lumabas sa hotel kasama ng lalaki. Di ba? Pinost mo sa group chat niyo. Anong lalabas sa ibang tao? Di ba? Nakita mo yung asawa ng kaklase mo kasamang isang lalaki. Up-truth, di ba? Kasi totoo naman, may kasama siya, pero hindi niya sinabi na andun siya dahil may meeting sila ng ibang tao. Di ba? So, ganun po nangyari dito. Iniwan lang nila sa ere na meron daw 6 billion, allegedly pero hindi na nila sinabi kung paano nila nakuha yun. Di ba? Pero kung titignan niyo po yung report na nakakuha rin namin sa social media, kung busisiin niyo po yung report na yon, meron po doon nakalagay doon sa bandang dulo na yung may 2 billion doon na sinabi ng BPI, system glitch. Nagkamali po ang BPI. Na hindi dapat 2 billion yung andun sa amount na yon. Di ba? So yung pa lang ba't hindi nila sinabi yon? Di ba? Kasi gusto lang malantag sa tao na ang laki ng pera, 6 billion. Diba? Pero sa sample natin, posibleng zero amount na ang transaction value ay hindi ibig sabihin yun din ang pera mo sa bangko. Yun po ang gusto naming ipalahadan. As I said, Attorney Carpio vehemently denies the 6 billion. It is fake and a lie. Mula sa panahon ngayon, marites po yan. Thank you.
Attorney Bayon, please.
If I may add lang, attorney, nakalimutan mo yung interest eh. So yung sa balance kasi, let's say 1 million, di ba? Di ba, may interest po yan. Let's say 5 pesos, so maging 1 million 5. So yung balance sa dulo, 1 million 5, i-add ulit, most likely in-add po nila ulit yun sa total. So parang lumabas, may bagong 1 million, pero yung change in the statement of account lang was from the 5 peso interest. Eh paano po kung may tax withheld pa? Di ba meron na kayong mandatory 20% na yung binago lang po na withholding tax. So pagbawasan ng 20% yung interest na yun, yung 5 pesos, so may minus 1, so 1 million 4 na lang. And then may bago pong ending balance na 1 million 4 from 1 million 5. So they added that, most likely po they added again that transaction record. So nakita po nyo the same 1 million, nadagdagan ng 5 pesos, nadagdagan ng 1 million, nadagdagan na ngayon yung overall balance ng 2 million plus agad. Or the same amount. So yun po yung isa rin na magandang i-take note natin dito.
Attorney Chairman, what about the bank? Are they making a statement to clarify the issue? BPI specifically.
Yun nga, based nga dun sa, if you will, niyo po yung AMLAC report na amiring nakuha sa social media, internet. May portion po nung sumulat ang BPI daw, based dun sa report mismo ng AMLAC, sumulat ang BPI sa AMLAC na baguhin nila yung transaction reports nila, allegedly, dahil mali yung 2 billion. Hindi 2 billion yon, 2M lang daw. So, ito pong, ibig sabihin, yung mismong bangko na nagsabi na mayroong system glitch sa record sila. Sinabi to. Di ba? Narinig ba to na sinabi nung bisita sa Kongreso, nanggaling sa AMLA? Hindi, di ba? Ang pinandakan lang ng may kalabang kang kaklase mo. Gusto mo paihuwatig, may masama. Di ba? Panuri po yung truth. If in the first place, he does not have a copy of the report. Di ba? We have requested a copy of the report to be able to refute it last week. Up to now, wala pa po silang reply. Sabi nila, papa-approve pa daw nila sa Committee on Justice Chairperson. Di ba? So, sana makakuha kami so that we can really check ano ba yung pinanggalingan ng 6 billion na yun. Diba? Kasi sample ko kanina, kung pwedeng zero eh. Zero amount. Paano na inat? Diba? Tapos dito, kiniwari, account ni VP Sara raw, account ni Atty. Mans. So, pwede mangyari, dinoberin nila yun. Dinagdag din yung account ni VP Sara, account din ni Atty. Mans daw. Okay? So, yun lang po. Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen, so what's your next step now? What's your next step? Please, all again. Okay.
So i-emphasize ko lang din po, doon sa error na 2 billion, di ba may pumasok error 2 billion, then they corrected it, so nilabas. Doon pa lang, that's already 4 billion agad from their computation. So yan ang po gusto ko lang din i-emphasize.
So what's your next step?
Well, nagsampakan na nga po kami ng kaso sa fiscal ng QC, no? Dahil sa, yun nga, violation of the Bank Secrecy Law, violation ng AMLA, violation ng Data Privacy Act. And sa proseso po, mag-i-issue po ang fiscal ng QC ng subpoena para sa mga nakasuhan namin para sagutin nila yung paratang namin. No? And from there, pwede rin ko pa yung sumagot. No?
Okay, the floor is open. Yes, please, identify yourself. Siya muna ba? Then ikaw, ha?
Jason ko ng SMNA News. First question po, sir. May we have your comment dun sa sinabi ni Representative Jokno na sinabi niya na yung pag-file ng case is just a diversionary tactic para makalimutan po daw ng mga tao yung dahilan kung bakit nagkaroon po ng hearing.
Remember po, si Atty. Carpio is sa pribado na individual. No? Hindi naman siya parte ng hearing. Kaya nga po napilitan siyang magkaso dahil nga bilang private individual, di ba? Pati siya nadadamay. So, he is just only enforcing his rights. No? And with more reason kasi, ito pong pinag-uusapan natin na nilabag ng AMLA, di ba? It's dagok po ito sa industriya ng bangko. Okay? Because, alanin nyo si Atty. Mans, abogado. Asawa pa siya ng VP. Di ba? So, kung kaya ng AMLA na gawin ito sa bank records ng isang abogado, na isang asawa ng pangalawang mataas na opisyal ng Pilipinas, na kayang kalkalin lahat ng mga dumaan sa bangko mo, di ba? Lahat, insurance payment, credit card bills, di ba? Binayad mo sa landlord mo, nagbayad sa kliyente mo. Paano ba tayong mga mahirap? Di ba? Mabubulat lahat ang ating mga accounts dahil lang kalaban ka ng gobyerno. You cannot weaponize the AMLAC. Di ba? Dahil mismo sa AMLAC, may nakalagay po ron na the AMLAC cannot be used for political propaganda and political persecution and harassment. Okay? Nasa section 16 po yun ng batas. Okay? Diba si ma'am? Ano yan? Diba? So, what we're saying, Atty. Mans is not fighting merely for his private rights. He's fighting to preserve the integrity and confidentiality of the bank records for our banking industry. If he cannot protect his own rights, and it can be easily abused by the AMLAC, then the AMLAC can be weaponized to harass and persecute anybody. Kahit na sino, kahit na impeachable officer, okay? From the Supreme Court Justice to Constitutional Commission members, to any impeachable officer, they can use AMLAC, okay, to persecute and harass a person by merely asking the AMLAC to provide the private banking records of an impeachable officer at ilantad sa media. Diba? Kasi yung ginagawa nila na ginagamit lang media at ilantad kuno na ito malaking pera, pero hindi na pala totoo. Diba? So, that's why we're calling the media to scrutinize these allegations. Kasi mismo sa AMLAC report, diba? Sinasabi nga ni Atty. Neil, ano na mismo may mali Diba? Pero hindi na hina-highlight. Dahil, bakit? Dahil yung narrative nila na 6 billion, diba? Contradictory na. Diba? So, as again, Atty. Carpio is not merely fighting this for his own self. He's fighting this as a matter of principle to preserve the banking confidentiality, which is crucial in any banking system. Dahil po ang banking system natin rests on the confidentiality of the records. If a bank cannot protect the confidentiality of the records of its bank depositors, the banking system will fail. Okay? So kung kaya lang gawin ito kay Attorney Mans, kaya lang gawin ito sa atin.
So, dagdagan ko lang. So, from our point of view, yung statement na gano'n ni Congressman Jokno is a political statement. So, of course, we respect his right to free speech because that is also a constitutional right. Pero yung issue lang po natin dito, kung tatandaan ninyo, is whether or not they committed a criminal act in violation of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. So, yun lang po. Whether or not they committed a violation, and if they did, therefore they should be held liable. Yun lang po yung issue dyan.
Sir, last. Sir, with regards po dun sa defense ni Attorney Mans na he said he is a private individual. Pero yung paliwanag naman po ni Representative Jokno, dahil po daw generally communal yung properties ni Vice President Sara Duterte at ni Attorney Mans. Kaya kailangan tingnan yung joint assets at transactions po. Your comment on this, sir?
Yes, so like what I explained dun sa opening statement ko, yung right to accountability of public officers kasi hindi yan absolute. Meaning, hindi nila pwede gawin yung gusto lang nila. It is subject to the balancing with the Bill of Rights. Kasi in the Duterte versus HOR case, sinabi naman po ng Supreme Court on very clear, the Bill of Rights applies in all stages of the impeachment proceedings. And currently, since sila po yung nagpo-prosecute, sila yung nagpo-prosecute, therefore they have the burden to cite the exceptions na covered si Attorney Mans despite that question. Kasi like what I stated, since this involves constitutional rights, yung strict scrutiny test will apply. Diba? They have the burden to establish na hindi unconstitutional at illegal yung ginagawa nila. Hindi dapat pinapasa sa amin yung defense kasi sila po yung may burden yan. Trabaho po nila yan eh.
Good morning, Rolando from Manila Standard, Attorney. Attorney, may I know or maybe know kung ano po status ng kasong isinampa niyo po last week sa Quezon City Fiscal's Office?
Usually ang proseso po pag nag-abla ka ng kaso sa fiscal, so yung fiscal's office po i-evaluate yan. And then kung sa evaluation nila is pwedeng tumuloy yung kaso, mag-issue po sila ng subpoena doon sa mga nakasuhan para sumagot. So since 1 week na more or less, so malamang po meron na pong i-issue sa proseso. Siyempre mag-issue sila ng subpoena para sumagot po yung mga nakinasuhan namin.
What are you expecting na po from the Quezon City Prosecutor's Office? Anong ruling yung ina-expect po ninyo?
Well, initially, siyempre, papasagutin muna nila yung mga nakasuhan para mag-file po sila ng counter affidavit. Okay? Mag-file ng counter affidavit, pwede rin po kaming sumagot doon. And pagkatapos po, aralin po kaya ng assigned na fiscal kung sinong prosecutor na mag-aaral, mag-decision. And base doon, maglalabas sila ng decision.
And when po ito expected na ilalabas?
Well, usually in practice po, mga more or less, mga 3 months sa normal na proseso. 3 to 6 months po ang decision from the time na mag-file sila ng counter affidavit hanggang magkaroon po ng decision.
Last question. Sorry po, sir, sorry. Kasi I remember Representative Joel Chua told in the press conference 2 Saturdays na po sa po na the House has its own extraordinary powers, just to paraphrase it, in conducting their own investigations and impeachment. Maybe know kung bakit too far na or as stated sa inyong mood ngayon na para ba sumusobra na ang House in investigating the AMLAC records of Mr. Carpio, of Attorney Mans Carpio, sa kanilang ginagawang extraordinary powers na ginagawa ng House in investigating the background of the Vice President's Carpio.
We recognize, no, talaga namang merong kapangyarihan ang House na magsulong ng impeachment complaint. No? Nasa saligang batas po yan. Pero wala naman po sa saligang batas na nagsasabi na pwede kang lumabag ng batas. Diba? You may have the constitutional right, you may have the constitutional duty, but you cannot violate the law. Okay? Diba? Ay, sino po namang tao dito maintindihan? Imbis na may karapatan ka, hindi ka pwedeng lumabag ng batas. Malinaw po sa Section 8A. Yan. Number 3. Pakatong slide. Isa pa. Yan. Isa pa. Yung number 3 ng slide. Sa Section 8A po ng batas ng AMLA, malinaw naman puro na the AMLC, yan po, the AMLC and its secretariat shall securely protect information received or processed and shall not reveal in any manner any information known to them or by reason of their office. Okay. So, miski na po may kapangyarihan ang House of Representatives na magsulong ng impeachment complaint, kailangan pa rin sumunod sila sa batas. Diba? Hindi naman po sila above sa law. Diba? Lahat po tayo dapat we observe the law. Diba? Mambabatas po sila. Diba? So they should be the first to observe and comply with the law. Di ba? Being mambabatas, you have the more duty and to observe and respect the law. Ito na naman po ang pinagbabatayan namin. Batas mismo na pinasa ng Kongreso. Di ba? Yan o, Section 8A, malinaw. Di ba? Ang AMLAC hindi pwedeng magsiwalat sa kahit anong pamamaraan ng kahit na anong records or information na nakalap nila. So, yun lang po. Thank you.
Question? Okay, yes, yes. Yes, go ahead, ikaw.
Sir, earlier you said na bloated.
You identify.
Yan Eric Mendoza po, for inquirer. So you said earlier 6 billion bloated amount. So sir, may ballpark figure tayo sir, what is the yung amount talaga sir na dapat?
I think as I said, no, Attorney Carpio is not part of the impeachment proceedings. So, he's a private citizen. No? So, he doesn't want to be embroiled in this political circus. No? And more importantly, to disclose his private information. But what we can say is that he does not have that 6 billion amount that is being publicly portrayed as a pure propaganda in the media. So, wala po siyang ganung pera. Okay? But what exactly is the amount? Of course, we cannot divulge that. Diba? Kasi nga, private. But, kasi, ang pinating sinasabi na, may 6 billion eh. But, so, yun po yung sinasabi niya. Wala siyang 6 billion. Sabi nga niya, it's fake and a lie. Marites nga, sabi nga.
Sir, earlier may nabanggit na bloated yung isang 2 billion. Instead of 2 billion, 2 million lang. So, sir, 6 billion minus 2 billion, take 4 billion, is that safe to say, sir, na 4 billion lang yung...
It is not, of course. Kasi nga, sabi ko nga, hindi natin alam kung paano in-add eh. Kasi, di ba, wala naman kaming kopya. Siguro kayo, baka may kopya kayo, di ba? Pero basahin niyo puro dun sa mismong report. Hindi naman in-explain kung paano nila in-add yung 6 billion na yun. Saan nila kinuha. Di ba? Kasi sa sample mo nga, di ba? Pwedeng zero. Di ba? Kasi nga, sabi ko, ang transaction value is not equivalent to the ending balance. Di ba? Magkaiba po yun.
I have a question, Attorney. Yung withholding tax from the bank, can that be used also as evidence na kung gaano ka may pera?
Yeah, it's possible. Theoretical explain kasi you can compute naman doon eh. Di ba? Ang withholding tax, pag merong interest on a time deposit, I think it's 20%. Di ba?
In addition lang dun, sir, sa inquiry na question, hindi siya 2 billion lang most likely yung na-compute dun kasi may pumasok na error, nilabas din yung error. So 4 billion most likely yung pinang-compute nila dun. If we follow yung assumption namin based dun sa pinapakita nilang mga reports.
Hi, sir.
Okay, ladies. Identify yourself.
Camille po from TV5. Sir, ano po yung reaction niyo dun sa order po ng BIR na mag-conduct ng tax audits dito po sa mga negosyo ng mag-asawa po?
So yung reaction namin, we're prepared naman. We're ready to answer in the proper venue. And i-clarify ko lang din na yung order ng BIR is simply a LOA, letter of authority pa lang po yun. Baka kasi may misconception sa public eh. Letter of authority is the very preliminary phase of a tax audit. In other words, wala pa po yung any liability, wala pang nakitang any tax deficiency. That is simply stating na may authority sila from the BIR to conduct an audit. Yun ang gusto ko lang din i-clarify kasi baka nami-misinterpret ng tao na akala nila porket nag-issue na mag-ilolowa kayo, automatic may tax evasion na nangyari or ganyan. Wala pong ganun. This is preliminary pa lang po. This is determining pa lang whether or not may authority ba to conduct an audit. Yun lang po yung purpose ng LOA.
Pero ano ba, sir, yung purpose nun? Ano ba yung specific na titignan? Bakit nila kailangan na mag-tax audit? Do you think may basis yun?
Well, that's the prerogative of BIR, kung ano yung basis nila. We cannot speak for them kung ano. Basta yung sa amin lang, we are prepared naman to answer once we receive the actual letters of authority. Prepared to see Attorney Mans yun.
Next.
Okay, sir, good morning. Johnson na lang po sa Mavis. Sir, yung observation nila dun sa complaint na itinailing nyo before the Quezon City Prosecutor's Office questioning the possible violation of your client, yung kanyang rights dun sa data privacy law, ang sabi ko nung ilan ay bakit yung violation dun sa privacy ng kliyente ninyo ang kinwestiyon at bakit hindi nagkaroon ng direct denial na merong 6 billion or 6.7 billion dun sa transactions ng kliyente ninyo nung araw po na inilabas yung records ko nila.
First and foremost, sabi ko nga, kahit anong informasyon na lumalabas, siyempre, kailangan you have to check kung tama ba yung pagkuha ng informasyon, allegedly na umiikot. Okay? That is what we initially addressed. No? Dahil nga sabi namin, and remember tatlo po yung kaso namin, di ba? AMLA, violation ng AMLA, violation ng Bank Secrecy Law, at violation ng Data Privacy Act. So, tatlo pong batas yung kinaso namin na nilabag nila. Okay? So, yun po, we're just addressing initially the manner upon which this private and confidential information were publicly disclosed in violation of these three laws. Okay. Now, whether or not, di ba, kung totoo ba yung sinabi ng AMLAC doon sa hearing, di ba, that is a different matter na hindi naman pwede sa fiscal ang magdesisyon nun, di ba? That is why we came up with statements after the hearing and also now that Attorney Mans, as I said, is saying that 6 billion is fake and a lie. Okay. Wala siyang 6 billion sa account niya. Okay? Now, you're asking magkano, but I said, that is not part of the obligation of Attorney Mans na i-disclose magkano pera niya. Dahil hindi naman siya parte ng impeachment proceeding. Diba? And it's up to the impeachment prosecutors to prove in trial kung magkano ba yung nasabi ng pera ni VP. Diba? Eh si Mans, hindi naman siya parte ng impeachment proceedings eh. Diba? So that's what we're saying. He's a private individual. He wants to be remain private. Okay? And kaya lang naman siya napilitan man lumabas dahil nga, naapektuhan na siya itong mga paglantad ng mga alleged bank transactions.
Sir, din mo sa complaint, bakit hindi immediately nagkaroon ng denial? Why only now? Sinasabing fake po yung 6.7 billion.
So, ganito na lang po During that time, actually up to present, wala kaming official records from AMLAC. Siyempre, kung wala tayong official records, how will we properly review kung ano ba yung mga allegations talaga nila? Ngayon, we are directly denying it na kasi repeating na masyado yung questions tapos parang nagkaka-political spin na So despite us not receiving, yan, sinabi naman po ni Attorney Danao na Attorney Mans is refuting yung 6 billion.
Sir, last na. Okay. Meron ba tayong records nung sinabi mo na merong error on the part of BPI dun sa 2 billion or it's just based on news reports and...
Oh, doon sa kopya na nakuha namin from the internet, doon sa kung yun yung AMLAC report na sinabit sa House, may portion po ron, hanapin nyo, sa bandang dulo, sa portion ni Attorney Mans, that the AMLAC, that the BPI sent a clarificatory letter to the AMLAC sometime in April, early last month, that stating that the 2 billion amount initially reported was a system glitch, and the true transaction amount was only 2M more or less. Andun po yun. Kung binigyan kayo, kasi balita namin, binigyan ng media ng kopya ng AMLAC na, which I think, as a lawyer, I have to warn na even under the AMLA, the media is being prohibited. Okay? Next slide.
Pero sir, were you
Being
able to
prohibited.
confirm sa BPI?
Hindi nga, kasi nga wala naman kaming kopya ng AMLAC eh.
Sir, pero stating nga na you saw this on social media, it was posted and made clarificatory letter. Did you confirm to the BPI if indeed they sent a clarification letter dun sa AMLAC?
So I think before we do that, we have to have a copy of the AMLAC report to be able to confront BPI kung talaga meron silang ganong klaseng report. But, as I said, on that report itself, meron na pong nakalagay doon na statement ang BPI. Diba? So kung talagang totoo, or gusto lang ipalabas yung totoo, diba? Pwede lang isa yun eh. Diba? So, yeah, ano mo yung section na, next slide. I just want to emphasize that under sa batas ng AMLA, section 16. Next. Yeah. Section 14, sorry. Next. Yan, okay. We have to be careful, kasi marami yung kaibigan sa media. You have to be careful in citing the AMLAC report. Okay? Because even in section 14D, in case of a breach of confidentiality that is published or reported by media, okay, the responsible reporter, writer, president, publisher, manager, shall be liable under this act. Kaya nga po sinasabi ng batas, hindi pwedeng ilantad. Pag hindi pwedeng ilantad, mas hindi pwedeng ipakita ng media yung mga alleged bank transaction reports. Dahil mismo sa batas po, di ba, pinagbabawalan ang media na i-quote, pakita yung mga transaction na yun. Di ba? Well, this is the law, It may be argued that it's against the freedom of speech expression, but until it is challenged before the Supreme Court, it should be observed by all. So let's be cautious po, because you're doing your job, but of course we have to be also careful. Thank you.
Do you plan to file cases against those media establishments who have shown those
Mag-comment lang ako dun sa previous muna. So baka kasi isip nyo, tinitreaten namin yung media. We are simply just showing this and sharing to everyone. You have to remember, hindi po kami yung author ng batas na yan. Yung Congress po yung gumawa niyan. So we are just reminding everyone na may ganyang provision kasi because of what's happening now, baka hindi lang banking sector yung magka-problem, maybe even the media sector because of this provision. Kasi kung saan-saan na lang po pinapakalat yung information So yan lang po gusto ko lang emphasize. This is not us. This is not from us. This is from Congress. We are simply sharing with everyone.
I'll answer that, no? Attorney Mans has not and has no intention, no, to file any case against the media. Okay? So we know that you're doing your job only, and you may have missed, no? Dahil hindi naman po lahat ng media are also lawyers, no? But we understand that, but we're just trying to caution you now, no? Medyo hinay-hinay po tayo dahil sabi ko nga, kung hindi kami, baka yung iba. Di ba? Baka sa may mga ibang panahon na meron kayong ilabas din. So, at least we're trying to educate the media that there is such a provision of the law. Okay?
Actually, Attorney, this is a very healthy exchange of views, no? Narinig po yung mga questions from media because these are the questions we have to answer also eventually. I just have one question. Yung Bangladesh, remember, and RCBC, this happened years ago. Anong learnings doon? And how does it apply to the situation now? If you recall.
Well, if I recall, yung Bangladesh, yung merong ginamit yung banking system, no? Okay? Sa RCBC ba yun? Okay. So, I think, in a way, no, in any scandal involving the banking industry, okay, it will cause some panic, di ba? Tulad nun, nung nangyari yun, it created some panic sa RCBC bank. But fortunately, na-arrest, no? That is what we want to prevent, di ba? If, as sabi ko kanina, kung kaya lang gawin ito sa isang abogado, na asawa ng isang mataas na opisyal ng gobyerno, di ba? Pwede lang gawin ito sa kahit na kaninong tao, which may create, a lack of confidence in the banking industry. Di ba? Kasi kahit na sino pala, pwedeng makita o masirip at mabuyanyag ang kanyang mga transaksyon sa bangko, which we do not want to happen. Okay? Attorney Mans, as I said, is doing this not only to protect his rights and interests as a private citizen, but more so to protect and preserve the confidentiality of bank records, which is the cornerstone of the banking industry. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, please.
Maing buntag, attorney. Attorney, UNTV. Attorney, have you sought na po ba ng clarification from BPI doon sa alleged error po?
No, because as I said, until we have the real document showing that, I think it's premature for us to cite or to write the BPI on a document na hindi pa kami binibigyan until now.
Sir, sino dapat magbibigay sa inyo?
Nag-request kami sa Committee on Justice last week. Diba? But as I said, wala pa silang reply. Although they replied na it's under consideration, but wala pa palang approval for us to be given a copy.
Sir,
If I may add lang doon Kung napansin niyo yung discussion natin lahat ngayon, nagbe-base on a mere scrap of paper na hindi nga verified. So yung point ko lang po dito, hopefully So yung point ko lang po dito, hopefully you understand how unreasonable the situation now is. Diba, it is an unsigned document, hindi natin sure kung totoo ba talaga, pero nagiging mainstream news na siya for the last 2 weeks. That is why kung napansin nyo, very lang kami kung ano yung rule of law. We wait for the official document, we will comment, pero since nagiging political propaganda na siya, we decided today to address directly yung 6 billion na tinatapon na issue. But again, hopefully you understand nga po how unreasonable the situation na ngayon. Currently na wala pang signed document, pero nagiging mainstream news na siya.
Yes, please.
sir, sorry.
Okay. Ay po, good morning po, gentlemen. Nico po, PJNN. Kung sakali po, gentlemen, kung sakali lang naman na magtuloy-tuloy po itong impeachment trial papunta sa Senate, will you be open? And if in case isaman po nila itong mga back counsel ni Attorney Mans partly, would you be willing po to submit po sa kanila and maging public po?
So yung position po kasi namin, yung very basic rules of procedure, si Attorney Mans is not a party to the case. Then if you look at also the jurisprudence and the rules on impeachment, impeachable officer yung respondent to an impeachment case. So currently, the prosecution will have the burden to show na hindi unconstitutional yun pag ipatawag nilang isang private individual. Pero kami naman, pag makita nilang constitutional ginagawa nila, hindi illegal, hindi naman kami takot mag-comply and mag-respond. Basta yung sa amin, ipakita muna nila na hindi illegal yung ginagawa nila.
Follow up on that, attorney. Parang wala pong compelling reason yung state to pass yung
No, because they need to balance. That's what was discussed in the Duterte versus HOR case. Therefore, hindi absolute yung power nila ng accountability of public officers. Diba? Kasi may right to privacy din po ng individuals. Kasi if we follow that logic na right to accountability of public officers is absolute, kahit sino lang pwede nila pasabina. Kahit hindi asawa ng VP. Nakikita po ba ninyo how unreasonable that situation is? Kaya yung sa amin lang, we will follow the rule of law, the rule of just law, and we will respond accordingly in the proper venue.
Isa na lang po, with your indulgence po, sirs. Parang reality shows lang naman. Gaano po kayo natitiwala na the case will prosper considering you're filing, alam naman natin kung sino ang may hawak ng prosecutor's office under the Department of Justice. Usually, gano'n naman, hindi naman sure, ano yan, yung iba inuupuan para lang hindi mag-prosper yung case. Thank
Well,
you.
kami naman po ay naniniwala pa rin na ang ating mga piskal, may paninindigan. No? Ngayon, kung yung pagpailaman po namin, nasa batas naman yan. Di ba? So, we do hope, no, of course, that they will see it the way we see it. Di ba? Na makita nila na may violation nga ng anti-money laundering law, ng bank secrecy law, tsaka ng Data Privacy Act. Di ba? We have to believe, no, that our justice system still works despite the heavy political circus in our country today, no? Because that is the rule of law. No? Kung meron kang agrabyado ka, daanin mo sa tamang sistema. You cannot take the law into your own hands. That's what we're saying. Kaya nga po, nagpapail kami ng kaso dahil may nakita kaming mali, di ba? May nakita kaming violasyon sa batas, file kami ng kaso. That is what we're doing. Okay? We do not take the law into our hands and go trial by publicity. Okay? What we're saying is that we have to believe that our justice system and those who work within our justice system are upright and righteous, that they cannot be persuaded by any political leaning or political harassment. Because if we do not believe that, then wala na po tayong rule of law. Magiging mob rule na tayo. Diba? Thank you.
Well, thank you, Attorney, for reminding us to put our trust in the justice system. Question lang, this may sound speculative, pero what are the chances of this going up to the Senate hearing? Anong chances ito?
Well, we don't want to speculate, no? But I think the camp of Bibi Sara has always been saying that they are ready, no, to face it. And when it comes to the Senate, then their lawyers are ready to face the music.
I think we've covered all the important points. Wait a minute. Sige, kayo po. Sige, saka muna. Sige.
Arlie Calalo from Manila Times. So talking about sir dun sa sealed BIR box, do you think may violation pa rin na commit yung House lawmakers even though it was unanimously voted not to open it? And ang alam po yata, nandun pa sa possession nila yung box. Was it right?
Yeah, so kung nakita po niyo sino yun pa niya, si Attorney Kim Henares, may legal position din siya na may violation na, di ba? Yung mere delivery. Pero yung sa amin, more on sa confidentiality kami. Yung talagang gusto namin maprotektahan. So since hindi naman nila inopen yung box, therefore there is no violation of confidentiality.
Is it true that the box is still in their possession?
That's beyond our personal knowledge.
If that be...
Sir, paulit lang natin kasi hindi na po recording kami.
Patay yung speaker eh.
So yung... Guys, palitan ka na ng mic. Sir, okay na namin, sir.
Okay. Ayan. Hello. Good morning, media. Can you hear us? Okay na? Okay. So as to the question, bumalik na rin to. As to the question, yung kay Attorney Henares, yung position niya is the mere delivery already violated the confidentiality provisions of the NIRC. Pero yung sa amin, mas important yung actual confidentiality, whether or not na-disclose by yung sensitive personal information. So at present, wala namang na-disclose. So, okay lang kami. Observing lang kami at
Okay
present.
lang, sir, kahit na nasa possession pa rin yun ng committee.
Well,
Hindi open it.
that's speculative na sir. Yung sa amin kasi, that's why we do not want to dwell too much on speculative discussion kasi yung sa amin, rule of law, ayaw namin makisama sa political noise as much as possible talaga.
Sir, last question sa akin. Given sir yung AMLAC and then bank secrecy laws, it appears na walang exception, di ba? But the lawmakers from the House, they're claiming that they're doing it because there's impeachment. There's impeachment of things.
Sagutin ko na attorney sa AMLA. Yung sa AMLA, kung makita nyo ngayon yung section 80, wala namang exception si Knight dun. If you read the entire RA 9160 as amended, there's no exceptions.
Impeachment is not.
Sa AMLA, wala. So currently, position namin, absolute yung confidentiality. So baka sisihin nyo naman si Attorney Mans. We have to remember, yung authors po niyan is Congress. Attorney Mans is simply enforcing the rights given to him by Congress.
So just in case, I'll just add to that. So remember, sabi ko nga kanina, tatlo po yung pinal na kaso, di ba? Violation ng AMLA, violation ng bank secrecy law, violation ng...
Patay mo lang experiment, nagdodorte ka din.
Violation ng... Okay. Violation ng... Okay. Violation ng Data Privacy Act. Okay? So, tulad kasi sabi ni Atty. Neil, pagbasahin niyo yung RA 9160, yung AMLA, diba? Yung Section 16A kanina, wala pong exception doon ng impeachment. Okay? Sa Bank Secrecy Law, ito, yung pangalawang kaso na, kung pwedeng may exception impeachment. Okay? Pero alalahanin niyo po, hindi naman sila nag-inquire sa bangko. Diba? Sino ang sinampinan nila? Bangko ba? Hindi, di ba? AMLA ang pinasampinan nila. Di ba? So, anong batas mananaig? Kasi yung AMLA law, kung gusto nila na ang bangko mag-disclose, bakit hindi ginamit nila yung Bank Secrecy Law na may exception? Bakit hindi nila sinampi ng mga bangko para masabi ng impeachment yan? Di ba? Hindi. Di ba? Bakit AMLA ang sinampihan nila? And remember, yung AMLA director na nag-appear, kaka-appoint lang April 13. Di ba? Nag-assume ng position April 14. Sinampihan ng April 15. Di ba? Na-receive yung sampina April 16 ng hapon. Di ba? And within less than 3 working days, nakapagsubmit na raw siya ng report before April 2022 for the 20 years. Di ba? Buruin mo, they're so efficient. Di ba? For 20 years, for the different bank accounts daw ni BP, nagawa nila within 3 working days na makalap yung mga reports na yan and makagawa ng ilang page yung summary ng 20 pages ba? Oh. Di ba? Ano ibig sabihin doon? Di ba? Bakit kailangan taga-AMLA ang sisampinan nila? Bakit hindi mga bangko? Di ba? Dahil hindi na pinagamitin ang bangko. Di ba? Kasi sa mga kaso ng impeachment cases, it was only the Senate that issued the subpoena para sa mga bank records. Dahil nga, andun sa exception sa Bank Secrecy Law. So bakit kailangan AMLA ipatawag nila, nakaka-appoint pa lang ng tao? Diba? So yun po siguro magandang itanong nyo sa kanila.
Just in case there is a box Senate for the impeachment trial, just in case, do you intend to file another TRO?
ITR yun. Sa ITR yan, ano?
Yes,
File the IPRO. Legal strategy.
Harangin niyo po ba?
I think, if nasa Senado na yun, I think that would be the option of the lawyers of BP. No? Because as I said, actually kami, meron na kami pinali sa RTCQC, diba? TRO against the production of those ITRs. Diba? Na-deny lang, but fortunately nga, sinil naman. Okay? So, but kung dadalhin na po sa Senado, kung doon na gusto nilang ibuksan, I think the lawyers of BP Sara can adequately protect the rights of BP. Kasi kami naman, hindi naman parte ng impeachment si Atty. Mans. Diba?
Sorry sir, sabi ni Attorney Shell joke, no? Hindi pwede yung argument na private citizen si Atty. Mans kasi conjugal yung properties nila mag-asawa under the Philippine law. Kaya, pwedeng i-compare din daw sabi ni Atty. Shell. What's your response to that?
Well, we respect his opinion, but we have a different legal position. So we're talking about the right to privacy din kasi dito of a private individual. Therefore, they have the burden to clearly show to us na yun ganun lang kasimple yung argument na yan para makakumpel to produce ng certain documents, confidential documents from a private citizen.
Idagdag ko lang, ano? Kasi pinag-usapan natin dito, bank records, bank information, di ba? Pag nagpunta ka sa bangko, tanungin mo ng bangko yung account ng asawa mo na hindi ka naman co-depositor. Di ba? Papaya ka ng bangko? Di ba? Hindi eh. Kasi hindi ka naman co-account eh. Di ba? So bank accounts are treated differently when it comes to disclosure of bank information. Mas stricto po ang bangko. Miskin na alam nilang asawa ka. Pag yung account na gusto mong tignan, hindi naman ikaw, sa'yo. Di ba? Miskin na asawa mo yan. Miskin na mahal mo yung asawa mo. Hindi ka pagbibigyan ng bangko. Diba? Subukan nyo. Ako, subukan ko eh. Hindi ko pwedeng tignan. Hindi na sasabihin sa'yo magkanong balansin ng asawa ko. Diba?
So you're saying, sir, kahit mag-asawa sila, hindi pwedeng bulat natin?
Yes, because the banks treat bank information more stricter in any other information. Kaya nga po sinasabi ko kanina, the bank industry, the cornerstone of it is confidentiality. Diba? If you break that confidentiality, you lose the trust of the public to our banks. And what will happen to our banks? It will die. Mamamatay ang banking industry natin. Dahil wala na palang tiwala ako sa bangko na yan.
Kumusta ngayon sa Atty. Mans ka? Kapag nakakausap nyo,
He's in good spirit naman because as I said, he's a private citizen and he's doing this to preserve his privacy.
And Attorney Mans is a practicing lawyer.
Yes.
So he knows his rights naman.
Lain?
Sabi mas okay ba kay Attorney Mans na mag-push through yung impeachment sa Senate kasi para doon mas level, mas fair yung laban?
Ako, sagot? That's parang political ano na kasi yan. So, yung sa amin dito, we will just answer if mapakita nila kung ano yung legal basis, constitutional basis. Basta yung pinaka-point lang talaga dito, we're following the rule of law. Okay, we're not afraid to answer the proper venue as long as they can show us their legal basis properly.
Danny?
Yung pong paliwanag din ng ating dalawang abogado dito, malinaw po, detalyado talaga eh. Sang-ayon sa rule of law. Sa tingin ko, yung taong mapuro lang ulo lang, ay hindi makakaintindi, kaya yung tao ayaw talaga na umintindi. Ako po, walang bibigay na tanong, pero meron mo akong kapirasong sasabihin lang. Ito pong pangyayari na to, na na-involve itong si Atty. Gabio, hindi naman mangyayari yan kung hindi dahil doon sa impeachment kay Vice President Baby Sara. So, kaya po nangyayari yan, kasi po tayo nabubuhay ngayon sa panahon na ang maraming mamabatas at maraming mga politiko, mga opisyal ng gobyerno, eh talagang puro buhaya na at saka talagang halahula na mismong batas sinasalahula nila. Yun lang po, wala po.
Okay. No inciting of rebellion, ha? Okay, sige. Okay, any more questions? Any more? Okay.
Last question. Sir, ito pa rin sinabi ni Representative Joel and Representative Jokno. They cited the parliamentary immunity of the congressional members. And then, ano kung masasabi ko natin dito na walang pwedeng sa kanila na pwedeng questioning or to be held liable.
Sige. Anyway, we respect that opinion or that position of our congressman. Pero ang nasabi po namin dito, di ba, ang parating sinasabi nila, kailangan may managot. Managot daw si BP Sara, di ba? And ngayon, pag silang kinasuhan, anong sabi nila? Immune. Ibig sabihin, hindi kami pwede managot. Di ba? So, pag si BP Sara, managot ka. Pag kami, hindi kami pwede managot. Pero, di ba si BP Sara, mas mataas sa mga congressman. So, if they're claiming parliamentary immunity, remember that the Vice President has also the immunity akin to a President. Dahil President in waiting siya eh. So, whatever immunity the President has, the Vice President can also invoke. So, with more reason, kung sinasabing immune sila, di ba dapat mas immune si Sara? Pero hindi yun eh. Ang sinasabi dito namin, kung lumabag ka sa batas, di ba? Mababatas ka man o hindi, dapat managot ka, di ba? Pantay-pantay. Hindi pwedeng pag kumain ka, special ensaymada sa kanila. Tayo pandikoko, di ba? Although masarap ang special ensaymada rito, tsaka pandikoko, ha? Pinlagi ko lang, ha? So, di ba? Dapat pag naglumabag ka sa batas, managot ka kasi malinaw naman sa batas, di ba? So, yun ang sinasabi namin, di ba? Sana all, di ba? Pag lumabag ka, managot ka. Hindi pwedeng managot ka. Kami hindi. Hindi pwede yun.
Follow up lang doon. Pwede ba na invoke yung parliamentary immunity considering doon sa nature of the case?
Well, ang position namin, parliamentary immunity only applies to criminal cases arising out of your statement. Like libel, cyber libel, perjury. Di ba? But on a purely, academic discussion, kasi nga, di ba, may kaso kami, di ba? Academic discussion, di ba? You cannot hide from an immunity if the law itself prohibits you from doing something. Di ba? Malinaw na po sa batas. And alam naman siguro nila yung batas na yun. Di ba? So alam mo yung batas, di ba? Trabaho mo gumawa ng batas. Pero, hindi na bago yung batas. Di ba? O pwede ba yun?
Okay. It's been a good 1 hour, no?
Okay.
Okay. Wilson? Okay. Can we have a last closing statement?
Sige.
Ikaw na.
Ako na. Again, thank you to Kamuning Bakery, to Sir Wilson, for hosting this event. As I said, maging mapanuri po tayo, hindi porket sinabi ng isang tao, ito, ay papaniwalaan na natin lahat. We have to dissect the source of the information, how it was acquired, and whether or not it is true or based on a factual basis sa isang dokumento o sa isang salaysay ng isang tao. Diba? So, we appeal to the media not to be used as a political propaganda by other persons in pursuit of their narrative to pin down an official of our government who was voted 32.2 million by voters. Etong mga kabila, yung nagsampa ng kaso, pag tinotal mo, nasa 15.2 million lang ang bumoto sa kanila. Di ba? So you cannot say that they represent the will of the people because The will of the people resides with the people. And 32 million votes for BP Sara is a deafening point that she is backed by almost majority of the Filipino people. Thank you and magandang umaga sa inyo.
Okay, so thank you po to our host, Sir Wilson, and to all the media practitioners na nandito. Thank you for the time and for accepting our invitation. So ang masasabi ko lang, yung position talaga namin is simply rule of law, rule of just law. There is a right way to do the right thing at the right time. So in other words, if Attorney Mans is ready to answer in the proper venue, hindi naman po siya nagtatago. And likewise, he will also enforce his rights kung may kita po siyang binaviolate ng other individuals. Ganun lang po yung ano talaga namin, rule of law and rule of just law. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kami ang boses ng masa, hindi natatakot. Katotohanan lang, di kami nalulunod. Walang bahid ng sismis, lahat ay totoo. Kahit sino ka pa, pag mali ka babanatan ka. Walang pinipili kulay, wala kaming kinikilingan. Basta para sa bayan, kami lalaban. Pagdama palakpakan, pag mali banatan. Di matitinag, di matatakot, para sa bayan tuloy ang sigaw. Sa harap ng kamera, walang halong takot. Mga baluktot, lahat kayo'y tutumba. Ang hustisya at totoo, yun lang ang mahalaga. Kahit sinong harang, di kami matitinag. Walang pinipiling kulay, wala kaming